Good afternoon, everyone. It's Gary Ryan here with you with another Fed League Flash. We got a few transactions to take note of. First of all, um, one that we would rather not hear. The Columbus River Dragons have put Kirk Underwood on season-ending IR. Ended up with a broken arm, so that is most unfortunate, especially at this year. We're going to be talking about the River Dragons in just a little bit. Today is Tuesday, so we're doing a team profile. But yeah, losing Kirk hurts. But if it was another team, it'd probably hurt more. And no, I'm not devaluing Kirk at all. Just that the River Dragons are so stacked right now. They're going to be able to manage all right in Kirk's absence. So, anyway, like I said, we'll talk about that in a little bit. Otherwise, the only other things going on with transactions, the Black Bears have waived defensiveman Dan Weber. I kind of didn't expect that he would be with a team beyond last week. They were extremely shorthanded on D, and so Dan served as the fifth defensiveman because there was no sixth. Also, the Black Bears have signed another collegian, Connor Smith, out of Adrian College. He's a forward, so they'll give him a little look-see, most likely this weekend. All right, suspensions galore. Let's start off while we're talking about the Black Bears. Cam Yarwood was suspended for 2 games for that boarding incident that took place. I can't remember for sure. I believe it was Danny Vanderweel that he boarded, and bloodied him up a little bit. So yeah, Yarwood is not available this weekend, and then with the whole brouhaha that happened Saturday night when Elmira clinched her playoff berth. Elmira and Carolina ended up with some suspensions as well. Gus Ford was suspended 1 game for head contact. He ended up taking that penalty and exiting the game at about 12 minutes into the third. And then Matt Bazarin and Greg Hussey also have been suspended for a game for their part in the whole altercation at the end of the game. Likewise, on Elmira's side, Kyle Stevens has been suspended 2 games, probably because of the fact that he was chasing down players, literally. And then Danik Rodriguez was also suspended for a game. So on Friday night, you'll have some kind of combination with Harley White and Thomas Proudluck in goal for the Mammoth. The big news for today, later on today, Delaware is holding a presser to discuss the future of the club. No, they're not folding, but it looks like they are going to be relocating. They have not been able to negotiate a good lease agreement with the fairgrounds, and so they're looking elsewhere. There's a rumor that there might be a new facility that will be built for them in Dover, Delaware. However, it would not be ready for next season, so that still leaves them scrambling to find a place to play for next season. All right, so that's that. That is everything as far as transactions, suspensions, and all that good stuff. Today, we are going to take a deep dive looking at the Columbus River Dragons, who are currently in first place in the Continental Division, or the record of 37-9-4. Of course, the River Dragons, they're newer to the Fed. This is their 4th season, but there's been hockey for a long time in Columbus, Georgia. The team plays out of the Civic Center, which seats just over 7,200 people. The River Dragons were born, I guess you could say, born on date in 2019 as a new expansion team for the FPHL, because Columbus at that point had been without a club for a couple of years. Now, again, they had a long history with the Columbus Cottonmouths. Team played 5 years in the old Central Hockey League and played very well. Won the championship in their second year. That was 1996 to 2001. And in the course of 5 years, they went 204, 103, and 39. Not a bad record. They averaged, well, the first couple of seasons, they averaged right around 4,300 fans a game. Attendance started to die off a little bit, and 3,400 was the attendance in their final year in the CHL, and then the ECHL came in. It was still a team named the Cottonmouths, but this was the Hampton Roads Admirals transplanting themselves into Columbus. Played for 3 years. Team struggled on the ice and really didn't draw as well either. Their attendance in 3 seasons in the ECHL was 30-20, 28-93, and 25-24. So, yeah, each year attendance was dying down. Now, the SPHL started up, and Columbus was one of the charter members. And so 13 years, the Cottonmouths played in the SPHL. Won the championship twice, both in 04-05, and that was the initial season for the SPHL, and also in 2011-12. Didn't draw as well. I guess, people had gotten accustomed to a higher level of play with the ECHL. And then, you're stepping down a little bit, the SPHL, with perception and all. So, their best year, they drew 3,200 fans. Most years, they were right around 2,800. And then, now the team was pretty competitive most seasons. The last 3 seasons, they started to struggle on the ice, and that was also reflected by a drop in attendance. Final year, they only drew 2,258. Compare that to this year. They are second, the River Dragons, that is, second in the Fed in attendance with an even 3,500 behind Binghamton. So, and there is an outside possibility that they could also draw 100,000 fans. They have 3 games left. All 3 are against the Carolina Thunderbirds. So, big rivalry. And so, they could pull it off. They'd have to average 4,500 fans a game, but that's doable. So it would be really interesting. Everybody was talking about Binghamton's going to be the first team to draw 100,000, and they will be. But we might end up with 2 teams hitting the century thousand. Anyway, so things are looking good as far as the community with Columbus. There's a lot of strong support right now. So anyway, the 4th season, now they are owned by Ignite Pro Hockey. That's the organization that owns them. Scott Brand is the CEO and the GM, and Jerome Picard is the coach. Now, last year, Columbus was second in the league in attendance, about 2,800 fans per game, and they had a record of 32, 17, and 5. And then this year, they bumped it up 700 fans a game. We're seeing all teams having an uptick in attendance in the league, but really strongly in Columbus. So both Binghamton and Columbus have drawn about 700 more fans per game this year compared to last. So really, really good sign for the enthusiasm for the FPHL and the strength of the game. So anyway, now looking at the team itself heading into the playoffs, because they are going to be either the 1 or 2 seed in the Continental Division. Again, that's going to be determined who finishes 1 and 2 between them and Carolina. But Columbus is set for a long haul. For as long as the playoffs are in the FPHL. You got 2 series that are going to be best of 3, and possibly the final series will be a best of 5. Depends on the teams, ice availability, and all that good stuff. So, you have a maximum of 9 to 11 games that you would play if you went all the way and got to the final game of the championship series. So 13 of the players on the roster have played at least 40 games. So these guys, they're used to each other. They're very in tune with each other. A lot of great on-ice chemistry. Columbus has been very fortunate. Before Kirk Underwood went down, they really haven't struggled much with injury. They've been very fortunate in that department. So these guys are ready to go. They are conditioned for a deep run into the playoffs. So you look at the forward group, led by rookie Kelly Jacob, or Jacob Kelly, excuse me. Wow. 37 goals, 67 points. He was rookie of the month back in, was it November or December? One of the two. I believe it was December. So he leads the way offensively. Then you have Alex Sturgeon. He's added 38 assists, and he has 221 shots on goal. Actually, Jacob Kelly also has 220 plus shots on goal. You have Cody Wickline, also another 38 assists. You have Austin Doe, 48 points. Jay Krupp has contributed 8 power play goals. Captain Josh Petrantonio. Wow. Sorry. Petrantonio. Yes. You just can't say it fast. Anyway, he's a plus 27th. Plus 27, and that's 8th on the team. So that really tells you how deep this team is. Thomas Aldworth, he averages 1.2 points per game. You also have Alex Jemayev. You have Chuck Costello, who got traded from Mississippi earlier this year, and Ryan Gill. On defense, you've got Lane King. He's chipped in 33 assists from the blue line. You have Paul Frageau. You have Michael Greco, who's got 215 penalty minutes. So, there's some toughness there for you to go along with Eggers Ozelinch, another 170 minutes there. Between those two guys, they have approximately 40% of all the penalty minutes for the team. You have Josh LaBelle, who has the experience. He won a Commissioner's Cup with Watertown last year, along with Lane King. You have Cody Rogers, who's gotten 122 shots on goal from a defensive position. You have Adam Vanelli, very solid a team of 7 on the blue line. In goal, you have Brandon Colgan, who's 19-6-2, 2.27 goals against, 7 shutouts. And then your backup is Christian Pavlas, who's got a lot of experience in the Fed. He's 6-1-2 with a 2.99 goals against and an 8.97 save percentage. And this is a team that traded Bailey McBurney, who many consider to be one of the best goaltenders all time in the Fed. And they said, we're set. They traded Riley McVeigh at the beginning of the year to Binghamton. So these guys, they have talent out the wazoo, literally. Very deep team, as I said. They lead the league in penalty kill with an 87%. They have a 106 goal differential, scoring 4.8 per game, only allowing 2.6. So this is going to be a very, very tough team to play against. So again, the only question is, who gets first? Is it them or Carolina? We will wait and see. So that's a look at the River Dragons. Let me know what you think about Columbus's chances down below in the comments. Make sure to hit like and subscribe. Thank you so much for continuing to watch these videos, and we will be back with you on YouTube Thursday. Tomorrow we will be with you on Spotify. All right. Thank you again so much. I'm Gary Ryan for the Fed League Flash.